The following podcast contains adult themes and adult language. Listener discretion advised.
And although we joke, if you or someone you know is affected by or a victim of domestic violence, dial 1-800-799-7233 or visit the National Domestic Violence Hotline's website, thehotline.org.
But it's always the husband, it's always the husband, it's always the husband, I'll kill you, bitch.
Hey, this is Sarah.
And this is Megan.
You're listening to It's Always the Husband podcast.
Welcome.
Yes. Thank you for being patient. Yep.
Thanks for being patient.
We just had to get our act together.
We had a lot
this
going
week.
on,
Yeah.
and it kind of all, well, you
Time
still have
got away from
conferences
us.
this week.
Yeah, and we have this week and next week are also pure horseshit. I had a terrible week.
Yeah.
I
Now
had multiple breakdowns, and then I feel like I'm better.
Yeah.
Several breakdowns.
Yeah. Yeah. I got a little worried, but I know you
but I
always persevere.
I do. I have to have.
You bury the phone.
Yep.
Then you dig it back up.
I do, and I keep
and
going.
you're ready as a motherfucker.
I keep going.
Let's go. Yeah.
I need a job where I just water plants.
Yeah. Well, you could go work at like Lowe's Garden Center.
I would love
or
to, but I
something.
got to hang on for 4 more years. I got 4 more years.
Hold on for 4 more years.
And yeah, we'll see if I can. It's a job that ages you terribly. And it fattens you terribly.
Yeah.
I'm fattened and I'm old.
Yeah. Well, I'm right there with you. I'm going to be hitting 50 here this
I've already
summer.
passed it, moved
Yes.
on from it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll have to celebrate you being fucking old.
Yeah. We decided that everyone should dress up like a disease that I've had.
Oh, well then the options are endless.
The options are endless.
Yeah.
So like you could be hemorrhoids.
Yeah.
You could be
I could be
COVID.
tertiary syphilis.
Patient 0.
Yeah.
Yes, you could be tertiary syphilis. You could be any kind of like
carbuncle.
menopausal acne.
Mm-hmm.
You could be
All sorts of the
under boob
shingles.
rash.
Yeah.
Shingles. Yeah.
Obnoxious moles.
A giant uterus.
Yes.
Yep. Obnoxious moles in the
In
crotchal
your
area.
In your puss.
Yep. Twisted, sprained ankle from
Yeah.
a bachelorette party. What else have I done?
I mean, you've so many.
Tonsillectomy at
Yeah.
age 34. That one was a killer.
the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
You lost like 110 pounds.
I know.
Because
And
you
then-
couldn't eat for a month.
I kept bleeding out of
Yeah.
my mouth like a vampire.
Yeah.
Barfing. And then, but I gained it right back. Don't you worry. You could also be just like obese. Like me.
Well, then I
And
just show up. I show up and go, I'm here.
So just start thinking about your costumes,
Yeah.
everyone.
Okay, I love it.
The options are endless for real.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you for hanging in there. We'll put this one out.
Yeah.
And then
We'll get it going.
try to just maintain.
Yeah.
Because we don't ever take a holiday like Case File or Killer Psyche or all those other ones that take a break between seasons. We're 300 episodes in and still on season 1. Because I don't change the seasons. It just says season 1. There's one season. I don't know how to
That's true,
change. I
yeah.
don't know what to. I guess I could start putting a season 2. But what's the point? I don't know.
I like that we're just all
Season was just
this
one
is the
season.
season of our life.
Yeah.
The
One season for
shithole
6
menopausal
years or whatever it is.
season.
5 years? 6?
This is a true
Yeah.
crime podcast, and it's also humorous. So enjoy. If you haven't been here before, welcome. If you have, you know what you're in for. Let's talk about what got us through this shitty week.
I want to thank Old Lady Critchsmear, who smear I say her name wrong every time. But I think she sent us a lovely package of these Golden Girls like pouches.
Yeah.
And it's so cute. I love it. So I think since we're planning our London trip, which will tell all those foreigners that live in London.
Yep.
I'll try to I forget our hotel name all the time, but it's the Hilton by the Thames. And we can walk everywhere around there, and that's all I forget the name. So I'll try to say it. So if anyone wants to meet up or whatever, or knows some
we should,
pubs around the area,
give them the dates that were there, and then see if we can find a spot to go meet
and just meet around there.
Like
I would love to. Yes,
that has wine.
Yeah, well, and you can drink some.
No,
we won't be able to eat or drink any of the food we're used to because it's illegal to sell the horse slop in Europe that we eat here.
I'm so excited.
Like our American food, they don't eat it because it's like what you would feed low grade farm animals.
Well, it would poison.
It would poison Europeans, and we can buy European makeup.
Yeah,
that we can't get here.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Oh, so we actually might be living the good life.
Woo!
We'll come back looking human, and then we'll come back, and then we'll eat American food again. And
we're coming, UK.
And then you walk. They have walkable cities, so you can eat anything you want. I heard on a European vacation because you have to walk everywhere, and you just burn off your calories.
It's gonna be great.
Food is healthy. I can't wait.
We're gonna get some fish and chips.
Thank you for that. And she gave us cute stickers, and you got some cute outsider stickers.
Oh my God! Yes, I did.
Which is her favorite thing ever. I just thought I enjoyed listening to the Dateline original series called Something About Carrie. And I knew the case already. And that the case is so unbelievably weird and so fucked up that you can't believe it happened. So I've heard this case, I think, in a case file, it was in a Dateline.
So all of these Dateline series podcasts, are they all something about, because wasn't that that was the thing about Pam.
Yes, this one I think is something about Carrie because it's
something about
like
Mary?
Sarah thing about Mary playing.
Okay.
And it just, if you don't know the case,
I don't know it. Do I
think you would if you. I don't know. It's a pretty famous Dateline.
Okay.
It's so bizarre, so incredibly strange that you just won't believe what you're hearing. Like, you absolutely will not. And it was a Keith one. It just was really good. And it's all of it's out, so you don't have to wait.
Okay.
You can just buzz right through all of them. The people that went through this, it breaks your heart for them, but it's so fucking weird.
Okay.
That you just can't believe that human beings are like this. But then they're like, yeah, I guess I can.
Of course we can.
I really can. It's just sad that they are, but it's one of the weirdest cases I think that has ever been told on a Dateline, and I think that's why they picked it for this. But you might start recognize it because I think it was a pretty famous Dateline and I think it was a case file, but it's called Something About Carrie. How about Yar?
Got it. Well, I went with my dance mom.
I know your other friends.
My other friends. And we took the girls to Chicago to go see The Outsiders because they have a traveling tour of the Broadway musical now. So we went to the Cadillac Theater.
Which version did you like better?
I mean, on Broadway it's so fun because you're in New York City, and we got to see the original cast, and they were awesome. But I thought the performances were top notch. I liked this.
Netbar said she loved
Winston
it.
Better than
the other one.
Yeah, I thought this guy could. Oh my God, he was really good. He could really sing. Yeah, I thought it was awesome. I loved it. The Soda Pop had no shirt on for the first half, and I was, I'm all about that.
Yeah, of course.
So, I loved that, and then came back and I jumped in the lake.
You did. You jumped in the lake, the polar plunge again.
So thank you to
I was not there.
Those listeners. Yeah, Jen Center was like, "Where's the video?" And I was like, "Well, no one freaking took one because no one was there to see me." I asked Phil and
where's
Rory.
your sister?
Yeah, where were they? I said, "Phil and Rory, do you guys want to go watch me?" And Rory was like, "Nah, I'm fine." He's like, "Where is it?" I said, "It's on the lake. I jump in a lake." He's like, "No, I'll just stay here." So I was like,
well, why did Phil go? That fucker's old enough to make himself a sandwich for an hour.
But he said he was just going to stay home. These are the things that I can't care about anymore.
I know.
I'm a 50-year-old woman, and if he doesn't give a shit, then I don't give a shit either.
You can put itching powder in his underwear.
I'm going to. So I went to the bar at 10:30, and I had a Bloody Mary and partied with my teachers and did some
I
fireball
was at lunch with
shots and-
retired teachers, so I would have been there.
Uh-huh.
But I had a
Was that good though? Did it
Oh, it was so nice
make
to
your
see
heart
them.
full?
It did.
Yeah.
Carrie, who retired, she was talking about how she was in Broadway and had the chance to go to this. She's like, well, there was this brand new, it was just opened play called a musical called Hamilton when I went. And we debated between Hamilton and Mamma Mia. And Carrie said, I wanted to try this Hamilton. It looked interesting. Like it had been just opened, so no one knew. And of course, it became the biggest thing ever. And so she's like, my idiot friends picked Mamma Mia. And she said, I hate Mamma Mia so much. And so when Hamilton blew up like a month later, I still have not forgiven them.
No,
but she said the Broadway experience of seeing that.
Yeah.
She's like you would have seen Lin-Manuel. I mean, oh my gosh. Anyway, that was fun to see her. But we had a mimosa flight there where we went.
Yeah, okay.
Northern Tap House.
Oh, really?
And it was they were very good. I'm like, I'd never had one of those before.
With different kinds of juices?
Totally different kind. Yeah, different. There's like hibiscus and then a spicy one, which is actually good, and I don't like spice, and a regular and like a tropical, and they had all these cute flowers and fruits in them.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Like, who knew? And that's a happy hour special.
Oh, we should go
And
there.
I'm like, why have we not been doing this? I don't know.
Well, we don't know.
We don't know what we don't know,
Yeah.
and we don't know a whole lot of shit because we're dumb.
So those are my funds.
You saw that and raised money for
Walked
good
around
causes.
Chicago, and the girls loved it, and they thought they were fancy.
Did you have a hot dog or a pizza?
You know what? We did have, and we also had reservations the last night we were going to go to. I can't even remember the pizza place we had a reservation at, but we ended up canceling it because by the time we had walked around for 900 hours that day, we were like, hell no.
Yeah.
So we went to the free happy hour at the old Embassy Suites and
at the La Quinta
and got a noise violation.
Oh, you did not. You got kicked out again?
We didn't get kicked out.
You just got a warning?
I guess some ladies moved. We were on the end, which I thought was a great place to put us, but apparently around the corner.
Old ladies are the bittiest biddies.
Yeah.
Cunts.
But we are also old ladies, and I was like, we got a noise violation. And I told Eloise, you don't tell Dad anything that happened here. And then right away she got home and she was like, well, when we got the noise violation, I was like, Eloise! I just shot her a look. And then I went up to her bedroom afterwards.
What a narc.
And I said, you said you were not going to tell anyone.
Just a narc.
She was like, Dad didn't care. And I said, yeah, right.
Well, she doesn't see the phone.
No. And then I told my dad when I saw my dad the next time, and Phil was there, and he said, oh, Megan, you come from a long line of noise violations.
Yes, you do. When we got kicked out for my birthday from Applebee's, Cassie went up and said, you don't know what you're doing, rich manager. His name was Rich, and it said manager. Rich manager. This is Nut Bar. You don't know what mistake you're making.
We got in trouble the day Carrie, we had Carrie's breast cancer.
Yeah, we got kicked out of that restaurant for her breast cancer.
We were just trying to give her a send-off to get her mastectomy, and we got in trouble.
Yeah, we got removed from that restaurant too.
And my mom and all my aunts they get kicked out of everywhere. So my dad was like,
that restaurant and fuck rich manager.
Yeah. And everywhere else in the Embassy Suites.
And the Embassy Suites in Chicago.
But actually, they didn't even say anything to us. They just moved the ladies who called. And then they were giving the kids the evil eye out in the hall.
Well, duh. I mean, come on. Kids do that all the time. And just live a little.
It was 8:30 p.m. too.
Live a little.
Like, good God. Happy hour just got over.
No, it's not like 1 at night.
No. It's not.
And they can go fart and piss in their Depends all they want. And that's loud.
We were on floor 10.
Yeah.
So go down to the
Fuck
7th
yourself.
floor. That's where all the losers stay.
That's what I heard.
So we also have a Facebook group. It's called It's Always the Husband Podcast Group.
Yeah.
You can join it. And we like to pick something funny that gets posted
That
there
tickled
every
us
single
from there.
week.
And there's always the hardest choice ever.
It is.
'Cause
Kylie
it's always such. I mean, the people put such good stuff.
Kylie D was like, is there going to be an episode? And I was like, yeah, Kylie, here it is. All right. What's your Facebook funny?
Mine?
Yeah.
Well, Sam DeGrassi put just today, I believe it was. And I just opened it and I laughed and I thought, and it matched my week. So I thought, you know what? I'm just going to pick that. There have been very good ones all week, though. And very kind comments again. Like, that gets me through sometimes because I have 14 jobs. And then it feels like sometimes we're just talking into the wind. And when people, like, we've actually helped someone get through or whatever, it gives me some fuel. Because I'm, a chronically depressed, ugly fat ass that has no skills and no real redeemable qualities.
Oh, Sarah.
So sometimes that does just get me through 5 more minutes of life before I jump in front of a truck. But this one said, it was like a sampler. What are those? Embroidery.
Yeah.
And it said, when life gives you pants, shit them. And I thought, yes, life gives me pants. And I shit them all the time.
Every
day. But I enjoyed that.
That is a good one.
And I thought, if pants are even cut you a break, I shit the break. And it's still life for me. It's difficult. Although I just have to keep thinking of TT of the Beehive and her big lip and think, I don't have big lip. Oh my God.
No, we don't have big lip or big tongue. So at least we have that going for us.
What was yours?
Mine was from Linda Bellick Garcia. And it was just a little like meme saying or whatever. Is that what they are?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. But now I wrote it down and I can't remember what it said.
But she'll know.
We'll
look it up again.
It
Maybe
was funny and
You're trying to find it?
I'm trying to find it, but
it's not gonna work.
So hard to find. Where could it be?
I know. Once I find something and then I scroll
I thought
by
I
again
took a screenshot of it too, but
you didn't.
I think I didn't. Okay, carry on. I'll find it and then I'll interrupt you.
So we thought to do a February 48 hours. So this will be the last one, I guess.
Yeah.
This 48 hours intrigued me by the title, of course, as you would assume, because it was called The Batman Intruder. And I went, I wonder if this one meets our criteria.
I wonder if it's a dumbass.
Yeah, it's
sure
dumbass
enough,
male. This one, the wife lives. So it's also, the wife is not murdered in this one. She lives and tells her story. And this one
and she tells it like that.
Yeah. But this one triggered me still so much.
Yeah.
Because I experienced many things she did when she was kind of telling her beginning story. I'm like, oh, why is like
I just found the one.
Okay, what was it?
Linda put the blue whale's butthole. The blue whale's butthole can stretch approximately 3.5 feet, making it the second largest asshole on the planet next to your ex.
Yeah.
How perfect.
See, it's perfect.
Thank you, Linda.
And boy, is that the truth.
Okay, keep talking.
That is a big butthole.
Yeah. I mean, someone could dress up like a whale's butthole
Yeah,
for
I
my
could
50th.
do that.
Okay.
So let's go to they were in Georgia, Canton, Georgia.
Yeah, and it was a beautiful little town.
Oh, it was cute.
Everyone loved it.
And this girl was very pretty. She is very cute because she lived. So she's alive. We don't usually do that. It's New Year's Day, 2021. It's shortly after midnight. And Morgan Metzer had been for New Year's Eve at her friend Nicole's house. But she is the mother of 8-year-old twins, a boy and a girl. And these 8-year-old twins were staying with grandma and grandpa. So she decided, fuck that. Why am I going to stay up and do a dumbass New Year's?
Because New Year's always sucks.
Yeah. And she's like, I'm going to go home and go to bed. And her friend Nicole is like, you are lame. And she's like, I'm a mom now. I never have time to myself. She is a single mom.
Yeah.
She had just gotten divorced. Like a year before? I don't know. It hadn't been too long.
What
Maybe
year
less
was
than a year.
it?
This was 2021.
Oh, yeah. She got divorced in
like
2020.
Yeah. And so she's like, I'm tired as fuck. I'm going to go home. And so her friend was like, all right, bye, lame ass. And so her friend Nicole was interviewed. And she's like, yeah, I gave her crap. And I said, we never even get to hang out. And like, and this is what you do, you total loser. But she was, kidding.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. Because that's what I would do is go to bed at 7 p.m., and what I do. So Morgan goes home and like literally does go right to bed.
Yeah.
She texts her friend, I made it home, I'm going to bed, and she literally just jumps in bed and goes to sleep because she finally doesn't have freaking kids. Mm-hmm. But then she wakes up in the middle of the night because she's hearing something, and she looks in her doorway of her bedroom, and there's the silhouette, kind of like last time with that Lars fucker with the Dr. Pepper. But she says instantly it's the silhouette of a man. Lars couldn't tell the silhouette of his own 5-foot-tall wife, but whatever. He was, I feel like, had some issues mentally, as they all do. But his were also dumbing.
Yeah.
His was a dumbing mental problem. She sees this man. And so this man... Well, she actually had woken up because she heard the fireworks. And she said she wanted to kiss someone at 12, and she kisses her dog. I'm like, well, that'll work. And she puts him back down on the floor, and is like, whatever. But then she looks at her doorway, and that's when she sees this total silhouette of a man in all black. He had a mask on. I mean, I would have had a heart attack and died.
Oh, for sure.
Like, I just would have, instantly probably had a
Yeah.
stroke.
Yeah.
So she starts screaming and says the man jumps on her, holding her down, has a gun, but he doesn't shoot her. He's
hitting her.
Hitting her in the face with this gun and punching her in the face.
Yes.
In fact, when it was all over, she had like one huge black eye and the other one was kind of like a less noticeable black eye, but two black eyes. I think she had like marks on her head. Like he was beating her about the head pretty bad, flips her over on the bed, handcuffs her with these zip ties, and he's talking to her kind of, but he was disguising his voice. She could tell because it was raspy, and she said he sounded like Batman, like Kristen Bale Batman is like and it's very off-putting, and I really enjoy Kristen Bale, but that
me too.
That kind of takes you out of it because he's talking like JFK Jr. I mean, RFK Jr. He's talking like RFK Jr. Kind of. She's like, what is going on?
Watch me get
I need you to
I'm gonna get in the sauna with jeans on.
Then we're going to drink milk together.
Where's kid?
Yeah. Fucking idiot. Sorry, I know you don't get, but I just had to get that out.
Okay.
Anyway, she is like, what the hell is going on? So she's like, this guy is disguising his voice oddly, beating the shit out of me, pistol whipping me, and then she said she was getting strangled until she would pass
Like
out.
almost pass out, yeah.
And then strangled again. And then the lady interviewing is like, well, did you think you were going to die? And she's like, well, yeah.
Of course I
mean,
did.
She's like, all I was thinking about is like, I don't even have a will. Like, where are my kids going to go? Like, who's going to take care of my kids? Like, what am I going to do? Like, she just was assuming she was going to die.
And
because there's a man beating the shit out of her and tying her up.
They showed her house several times too, and it was like
it
a
was huge.
super nice
It was
big
huge.
house. But it was in the middle of nowhere. It was like on an acreage kind of.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like
Surrounded by forest. She could have screamed all she wanted.
There
No
were
one had
no
heard her
neighbors. Yeah. It was
No.
So that part
she was
scary.
totally alone. So she's just thinking like, oh my God, I haven't even talked with my family. Who's going to take my kids? And like that's going through her head. Like as she's being strangled, almost unconscious, and beaten and punched. And she's like, I just felt sad. Like I'm dying. Like this is how I'm going to die. Like why? She also then gets, of course, sexually assaulted. Mm-hmm. And the lady asked her, like, at that point, did you think you know who's attacking you. And she said, at the beginning, I felt like this is just a random person. But the intruder was completely disguised, like all in black, mask everywhere, like gloves, black hoodie jacket, black pants. When he's talked,
was he legitimately in a Batman?
No, he was.
Mask?
She just said it sounded like Batman.
But he
trying to
sounded
destroy,
like
yes,
Batman. Okay.
from the movies. That
I was unclear, but that would have made it funny.
that would have
maybe
made it very
not
odd.
that this is funny.
No.
This is not funny.
But this guy is a fucking lunatic.
Yeah.
Obviously. And then he kept saying, though, in his disguised voice, weird things about her personal life, like mentioning her recent divorce and something about her husband. And she said, you're going to miss your husband or whatever. And then something clicks in her head. And she says, no, don't hurt my husband. I love him. And then she's like, her brain started, she said, my brain just started going, blah, 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 and thinking all these things. You know, she's thinking about, dying and her kids and where they're going to go. But then more things are popping up like, I feel like I'm starting to recognize this fellow. Or something about this guy is starting to seem familiar. Then the attacker gets her phone, gets her passcode, all of her security that he got past her security system too was curious to her because she had a huge security system. He gets her phone, goes right to the app and unlocks or turns off her security system through the app.
And then
which to her is like, what?
A door.
She had a secured door from her bedroom out to her porch.
And he unlocked it.
He unlocks that he would know on her phone that she would know she would have her security app on her phone. Right. She's like, what is going on?
Right.
Like I didn't know that was a thing.
No, I didn't either.
Well, because I wouldn't even lock my God. I'm just like, come and do it already. Just come on. I have nothing for you to take, so unless you want shitty carpeting.
Yeah.
Literally shitty carpeting dogs.
Yep.
So then he carries her out of the bed because she'd stripped her naked and rapes her.
She's in
handcuffs.
Zip ties.
Yeah.
Right? Zip tie handcuffs.
And she's zip tied.
Yeah.
And she can't. And puts a pillowcase over her head. Puts her on the porch. So I'm sure then you're thinking, what the hell? Puts her outside naked on her porch and says something like, wait until I honk twice and then you can get up. And so, or I'm going to kill you. And so her property was so secluded. She kind of hears him leaving and she thought she just is in shock. So she's just sitting there waiting. And I guess to her, she thought it was only 15 minutes, but it had been like 40 minutes. And so in the distance, then she starts hearing the sound again. And she's hearing a person walking because her porch is like the second floor. So you have to go upstairs to like her porch or whatever it is, patio. Deck. I guess it's a fucking deck I'm trying to think of. The fucking deck. Her backyard deck.
Yes.
So most people driving to the front driveway wouldn't even know she had a backyard deck. And this is like 1, 2 in the morning or whatever.
Yeah.
So she hears a man
on New Year's
Eve. Day. Well, this is New Year's Day now at 1, 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
So then she hears some dick walking up the stairs. She's like, oh my God, did they come back? Like, who the fuck is this? Like, who else would know I'm sitting naked out here on the deck? And then Morgan hears a very familiar voice, and it's a man saying, honey, what happened? And she's like, it was her ex-husband.
He was yelling
Rod,
He was yelling her name. Morgan
in the yard. Outside in the yard.
And then he's like, honey, what happened?
What are you doing here naked with a pillowcase tied up on the deck? It's her ex-husband, Rod Metzger. So Rod calls 911. He helps her, gets the hood off, brings her inside so she can get dressed and helps her, or cuts off one of she still had the zip ties on one hand in the pictures.
Yeah, but he just cut off one.
So she still had it on her hand. And she's like, oh my God, help me. Like, I need to get inside and get clothes on. He takes her in and she's like, oh, okay. Like he's here. He's the hero. He saved her off the deck. So then we get the 911 call. And he just says, my ex-wife's been
attacked or something. Yeah.
And so then there's Sergeant Livers with their county sheriff department. He was a detective.
I liked him.
I liked him a lot. So he comes already. He's like, I have fucking 1,000 questions for this situation because this whole all seems weird.
They also called her dad and her brother.
And
so
they come too.
They came over too.
And then there are pictures and some video from it. And she's like back in like a t-shirt and sweatpants. Her eye is like swelling shut.
All fucked up.
It is like fucked. And she has been like hysterically crying. She looks like obviously someone who gone through that.
Yeah.
Completely in shock. And like, what the hell just happened? And she has no idea why Rod is there. So then the police come, and are like, Rod, how
did you know?
How are you here? How did you know? And Rod says, well, he tried calling her to wish her like a Happy New Year's. Well, no, I mean, he was at his apartment. And then he said a strange person, he has a ground floor apartment, I guess, knocked on his window and said, Morgan. And that just made him feel so worried about his ex-wife, Morgan.
I better check.
I better call
Morgan.
her. So he called and he called and he called and she never answered, because this is like 1 a.m. or whatever. If someone came to my window and yelled my ex-husband's name, I would say, you take that and you go fuck off. You take it all, you fuck off. I couldn't care one fucking shit. One thing about what's happening in the situation. You take it, you roll it, you cram it, and you go shit in your own mouth. I don't want any word of that name anywhere near me, and I don't care if he's on fucking fire. You go piss it out yourself, dick, and get off my yard. That's what I would have said. But he acted different.
He did it.
Yes. He was concerned. I would have said, fuck you. Don't say that name or that word around me ever again with that fucking weirdo. I don't care what's happened to him. He can go fuck himself. Even my own husband, I'd be like, he can take care of himself. He's tall. What am I supposed to do about it? He can run away from anybody.
Stop saying that name around me. My husband's name.
Yeah, you take that name, my ex-husband. If it was for my ex-husband, I'd be like, fuck yourself. I don't care what happened to him. You can eat a huge dick as far as I'm concerned and choke on it. But he responded
in a different way.
Yeah. So he leaves immediately. He's got to go help her because someone's yelling his ex-wife's name at his window.
Outside, yeah.
No, that would never happen in any situation. Ever, 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 ever.
No.
So, I mean,
Steve.
Yeah. You would have been like, don't you say those words around me. You take that name and you put it into a blender and you puree it and then you go feed it to the hogs.
I would die of laughter if someone was just outside of my door yelling names. And then I'd be like, get the fuck out of here.
I don't care.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to, why would I give a fuck?
Right. Well, he did.
No, he did. I mean, he still cared. He still cared about his ex. You have to respect the parent of your child.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure. Oh, no, I would just say I'd go dig 6 feet for him. You need help. I got a shovel. Oh, no, certainly
no,
not.
you wouldn't.
I just care so deeply.
Yeah.
So Rod says to the police, who tell the interview lady, like the minute they got there, Rod was kind of waiting outside and he's like, who the fuck are you? And they're like, we're the detectives that you called. He's like,
well, fucking do something or something
do
like
your
that.
fucking job.
Do your
and
fucking job.
And they're like, I just arrived.
Yeah.
Like, I'm here to do my job. They're like, no one's ever treated police coming to a horrible scene like
right.
That's so inappropriate. And they thought it was so odd. So right away they hated this fucker. And I'm like, good for you. Like, you can read these police could read the room instantly. They walked in to this situation and knew what happened minute 1.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, we have smart police for this one. Thank God.
Yep.
Rod tells once someone was yelling, Morgan, out his window. I mean, were you just watching porn and jerking?
Yeah, away they were like, why would anyone fucking
No, they
do
thought that never, that's
like,
all the things
weird.
that never happened, that never happened to you the most, you dumb fucker.
Yeah.
And I guess he lives 12 minutes away, so he's driving over immediately. And then he says, well, we're divorced. I'm still looking out for her. You know, and that can happen with divorced people where they are very good friends. They still look out for each other. They hang, you know, they co-parent well. They still enjoy each other's company, even though they just couldn't work it out in their relationship. So, I mean, that is a possible thing. I don't know anyone who said that, but it is very, very possible for that to happen. So, like, okay, that can be believable, especially since they go back in the history of these two. They met when they were 14 and they'd known each other for 20 years. So they could have been like, they could have gone back to just being friends, you know?
Yeah, childhood friends.
But, so the police are like, okay, all right. So then we hear from Kathy, who is Rod's mother. She just talked about how when they were very young, Rod was so excited. You know, when he and Morgan, although he was 17 and she was 14, I was like, you know, they're still under, but that's like
small towns though.
Yeah.
I get it.
I mean, and they worked together 20 years, and Rod was so excited to just be dating Morgan, and she's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful woman, and he's passable. Yeah. And that they were so cute together.
And basically everything was good until they got married.
Yeah.
And then they got married and his brother died of leukemia.
Like right after their wedding, which
like
is so sad. And I think
I
think he snapped.
And he like lost his mind.
Yeah, because for their wedding, she said before he would call her princess and treated her like a princess. She before they got married, the whole time they were dating from teenagers to in their 20s, I think they got married when she was 23 or something like that. Yeah. Like it was so good. No, she was 21. So from 14 to 21, he treated her like, she said, a princess, and he literally treated me like the apprentice. She said, I've never been like so certain. Like he was just the best. So they had their first year of marriage, she said, was amazing. Like their honeymoon was great. They were so happy, so in love. But then like his brother, who was at the wedding, it looked like a really awesome guy. But he sadly dies of leukemia. And he was like 20 or 19.
Yeah,
that sucks. That fucking is awful. Yeah. And so then she gets 8 months after the wedding, she learns that she's pregnant, or like a year after. It's like very shortly after his brother Kevin dies. So she's pregnant. They have a little boy and named him Kevin. And the mom is like, they named their little boy after my little boy that died. It was very sweet. And then baby Kevin dies.
Yes.
And I thought, oh my God, this is so awful.
Brutal.
This is so awful. This is so awful. Like, oh my God.
Sad.
He lived for just 18 days, but he had a very complicated heart problem. So I think they knew that he was not going to live, and he was born very early.
Yeah, he was born early.
And so she just said they both, I mean, all of them, the parents, the grandparents, the parents are.
There's just so much grief.
They've just lost the brother and now they've lost the baby.
Yeah.
And I think that just made him, something in Rod completely snapped. But only like 2 months later or something, she gets pregnant again with the twins. And so the twins are born. Then the twins are born. They're very, very, very healthy. She has a healthy boy, healthy girl, 2012. And what Morgan says should have been super happy time. She realizes Rod is just a different person. So maybe like all the grief or whatever, because he was so close to his brother Kevin that died, and then having your little baby die.
Or maybe he was just a dick the whole time, and she never knew because she was so young and never.
Yeah, you don't know the difference when that's her only boyfriend.
Yeah.
But he was a day trader for himself, and when she said that, you went, "Here we go." Here we go. That means you're just a fucking gambler sometimes. That's what they say is their job. And so of course,
And she said that's when he lost all of our money, and
he lost everything. And if
Jesus.
he never had money, probably, and he had just
Yeah.
been like, but Rod's failing at his job, losing all of their money. Morgan then starts a business called Shiplap and Sugar. But her business explodes.
Yes.
So she even needs to hire on her friends to help her because she has
Yes.
so much work. And it's like an
Yes.
interior design company. And she's just like so successful. And Rod is a failure at his job. So she's making a lot of money. She's working, loves her work. She's working a lot. Rod is not working at all.
No.
And being a dick at home. And so she said, that's when I started flourishing. He goes nuts and started physically, mentally just beating or abusing her, beating the shit out of her and mentally abusing her. She said Labor Day weekend, they're on a boat with their friends. And she said they returned to their cabin. Like, how fucking big was this boat?
I know.
Like, a boat on the Friends would be a dinghy for us.
A blow up.
We would have a blow up dinghy and we would have to attach it to another boat.
Yeah.
Like a stranger's boat,
Yep.
like from Back to the Future when Marty is on a skateboard behind a truck.
Yeah, that's what-
That's
that
how
would
we
be
would
us.
have to
Yeah.
move our inflatable
Yeah.
dinghy.
Or like one of us would have to get out and actually swim
yes.
it around.
Which
Yeah.
we've had to do on our
we
floaties.
have had to do on the floaties
Yeah.
before.
So at the cabin, she's like, I guess we got in an argument, and then he starts beating the shit out of me.
When all of their friends are there.
Then you're so embarrassed and you're so confused and you're so shocked. But she's like, fuck you. And she called her dad to come get her.
Yeah.
But then Rod was so manipulative. And I guess it had been, when you're together like 10 years, they know how to, like, these manipulative fucking psychos know what to say to just get you. I mean, I don't know. I can't even describe it. It's happened to me.
They convinced her parents that it was
her fault.
He convinced her parents that it was her fault that she got hit
That he had to beat the
hurt
shit out of her.
because she was going so crazy. He had to restrain her.
And she said, my parents believed him.
Yeah.
And then I went, oh, fuck that.
That's your one out, right? Is like, I know my family will save me if I need help. And then when they don't even
believe
save
him.
you, you're just like, give up. I
And it was
guess.
her friend.
Yeah.
And she's like, maybe then it was my fault. But her friends are like, bitch, you're black and blue. He doesn't have a mark on
Yeah.
him. He's twice your size.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding? No, he beat you. And then she's like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But then he started doing all this fucking gaslighting to her all the time. Every fight that he would instigate then would be her fault. He would then do all this stuff. Like, this is where I was like, I almost have to turn it off.
Yeah.
Because this happened to me.
Yeah.
Fake
Yes.
instances.
Yep.
In front of the children, like pretend to roll down the stairs like Betty Davis and
Yes.
and then say, look, kids, your mom pushed me down the stairs.
He threw himself down the stairs and got hurt. She's like, he hurt himself.
Well, when you throw yourself down the stairs like freaking Joan Collins,
Yeah.
that's going to happen.
And then he said, look what your mommy did.
Oh,
because
I've had this happen to me in many different scenarios for a while. And so that's when I was just like, I can't go back. I can't go to that spot in my head. I have to just keep like when you're in that fucked up of a situation, you just think, I feel like I was raised normally. How did I get in this situation? Or how did I find myself in this situation? That's all you think about. Like, how am I
Now my
in
children are being
this
abused.
situation? That's when when it hit me. Like, I can't have Rachel in this. I can't anymore. It is bad. Anyway, just situation like that, and he would, beat her, gaslight her, manipulate her, program her, and she just said he was programmed for her to be crazy. And then when he started bringing her kids into it, and that's when, and her friends, she said, my friends were so mad at me. They stopped talking to me for a while because I was starting to believe it, like it's my fault. No, it's just my fault. I guess he's right. He was raping her, and it took her a while to realize, like, your husband's not, like, this isn't supposed to happen.
Like
no,
when you
it's
say,
not.
I have a headache.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it. It's a school night. I want to walk around tomorrow at school with stuff coming out of me.
Yeah.
Just leave me alone.
Yeah.
That means no.
Yeah. It means fuck off.
And
Go
then
jerk it into a hand towel.
and she was like realizing
She
that
kept
that's
saying
what
no.
she was doing, and he would still
Rape her.
Rape her.
And she's like, yeah, I would tell him no, no, no. So she finally is like, oh my God, like woke up and filed for divorce in 2020. And she goes through the divorce, and she was just like, after the divorce, which was like a year before this happened, she just said she felt such fucking peace. And it's like, yeah, I know that feeling. I literally did bells with my heels walking out of my, I was there alone. You didn't even care enough to show up, but it still went through. I just was like, this is the happiest day of my life. And usually people would think to be sad. I was like, I don't think I have ever been happier in my entire life. I kicked my heels.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just going to do it.
Yep.
So she felt like that. Like you just lost this huge stressor of shit in your life. So now she's like, well, what the fuck? I'm in this situation, but Rod, he's coming back into my life playing the hero. So we have this Sergeant Livers, and then another sergeant comes, Robert Hawk. And they come, it's 3 a.m. Robert's the one that saw Rod being this weird fucking dick telling them to do their jobs. I'm like, bitch, I just got here and I am going to do my job. So shut up. You're a weirdo. What's your deal? Yeah. They notice like she's totally beaten about the face. She has these zip ties on her hand, and they thought they looked kind of weird. It was like a weird zip tie situation. Like two were formed into one. They were already like turned. So like they came planned to, it was already, I mean, they obviously came planned to attack, but the zip ties were ready to go and put around her. And they said, well, not only was Morgan physically injured, she was psychologically injured. You think? I mean, of course, you assholes.
Who isn't? Yes.
What do you think? Well, she said she still had a fear that someone was going to just watch her and come back and kill her. And then she's sitting on the deck thinking, I don't know if I really can move. Are they away? What if they come back and kill me? And then they tell her, you were outside for 40 minutes. And she thought it was like 15. And they're like, her whole perception of time. I'm like, well, you're in shock. You don't know. And some people can't tell time anyway, you know. So then Morgan starts talking, and they pull her away from Rod, you know, and they're like,
we need Rod out on the porch.
On the deck.
We need, what was her name?
Morgan
inside, and they separated them, and then she was just like, I know.
They said, do you think you know who her attacker is? And she said, well, at first I didn't really, but then I started you would know she's like, I know my husband.
Know your spouse.
Yeah. And she said, even if he was disguising his voice, I thought it was him. And then we said the crack about the husband. She said, oh, please don't hurt my husband. I love him. And she said, the way his mood changed, she said, I knew I was going to live. Yep. Like he was going to go away. I knew this wasn't going to be like I knew then that something shifted. Oh, yeah, turn that off. I know. Then it gets too hot. We have... But then she said when he picked her up and moved her outside, she's like, I knew it was his body. I knew it was him. And that's how he carried when she was pregnant with her twins. She's like, that's how he carried me. Like I recognized his arms around, like, you know, your spouse, you know, even if you don't ever have him touch you, you still know.
I would think too, like you would know their smell.
Yes. Everything. And she knew it was him.
There's no
way. Yeah, I would know everything about.
Well, Jamie is also a
giant, but you know,
and
I can
Phil's
recognize
also a short.
But you just still something about it. So she said, I knew it's him. I knew it was him. Yeah. And so the police are kind of like, yeah, he seems like a super psycho dick. Yeah. They were like, yeah. And so they like, yeah, he seems real fucked. And so she's like, well, tell us like about your history. So she talks about it. And she said, it's kind of been a weird week because at the beginning of the week, he calls me and tells me he has pancreatic cancer. her ex-husband, Rod. And she's like, oh my gosh, I rushed to see him at his apartment. She's like, he's still the father of my children, even though he's a super psychotic dick. And he shows me a doctor's note that was emailed to him that he has cancer. She's like, oh my God, let's call your parents. What do we need to do? And he's like, absolutely not. Do not tell my parents. I'm going to deal with this myself. Because he had his older brother die terribly of cancer. So it would be very upsetting if he really didn't have cancer and decided to pick cancer as some sort of joke to sympathize.
Right.
That would be very inappropriate. So Morgan,
one would think, since he'd already been through
cancer and
he
see how
wouldn't
cancer
do that.
affected his mother,
Yeah.
and his whole family, he wouldn't do that and make up something like having cancer.
Right.
So Morgan is like, I told him then, why don't you just stay with me a little bit while you deal with this, and she can sleep on my couch. And so that whole week before the attack, he's on her couch, and it had been, ending Christmas, and he was with the boy and girl and stuff. Rod kept trying to get back together, like begging and begging and begging. And she's like, bitch, no. And like, this is not going to happen. I have no interest in that. And so it was New Year's Eve. She said, get the fuck out.
She's like, I've had it. We're not going to talk about this anymore.
I'm done with you being here.
I do not want to get back together with you. I want to help you. I'm sad that you have pancreatic cancer, but you
get
need
the
to
fuck
get
out.
of here.
Go back to your house. And she's like, and then I started remembering, like how for years and years and years, he raped me and abused me. And I just was like, get the fuck out, And then she said something. She's like, I'd been so gaslighted by men not believing me when Sergeant Liver said, I believe everything you just told me. Like, I believe that it's him. I believe that he's fucked up. She said it just it was the first person someone listened to what I'd been through and believed my stories. I mean, obviously her friends, I guess, probably.
I hoped those two fell in love.
I know.
I
hope
don't
so.
know.
I don't know either.
I was just like, I'm
know.
so glad he
was the
nice.
best.
I know.
And so she just was so relieved that these two police officers were the best. And then you get Rachel Ash, who was like a district attorney assistant, and she has a dog she brings to comfort victims. And I'm like, I love this
She
bitch.
does only domestic violence. And I was like, fuck yes.
Yeah. And she was, you could tell, was just a hard ass.
Yeah.
Like would tear these men apart. And then had a cute little dog she would bring just to comfort victims. And that won me over. Like I won her over. And she knew Rod was like a huge piece of shit minute one.
I would have been like, no, thank you to bring in your dog.
I know, you would have. And I would have been like, please bring all the dogs. And just have shit
more
all
dogs?
over my clothes. And the cats and the pigs.
I feel like your human presence will be enough.
No.
Thank you.
I would have enjoyed that. All of my friends are not, except Tiffany maybe.
Tiffany would want a dog.
And so then she is kind of helping. Rod, of course, wanted to come see Morgan or wanted to be with Morgan New Year's Eve. Mm-hmm. She kicks him out and says, I'm not even going to be home, so you don't need to be here because I'm going to my friends for New Year's Eve party, and then I'm going to stay at my parents' where the kids were. So I'm not even going to go home. You go back to your place. So for what she knew, Rod thought she wasn't even home that night. He assumed she was at her parents. According to Morgan. So then it seemed weird when he said, obviously I learned this by someone coming to my window and tapping on the window and saying, Morgan.
That's
Morgan.
so dumb.
And he explains to police again, like, I tried to call her and warn her, but she wasn't answering. So I came here to see if she was here. And then they also found it odd that he just went to the backyard. And then Morgan's like, how would he know I would be on my
yelling her
deck?
name instead of just knocking on the door and ringing the doorbell.
He went to the backyard first and knew, because she's like, yeah, he knew, he put me there on the deck. So they said, Rod, give us your phone. Can we just see those texts that you just make sure you called her? Like you said. So he's like, yeah, sure. You can look at my phone. So they look at their phone and right away he has a hidden folder that they find immediately because he gave the police permission to look through his phone.
They literally found it 1 second after they took it.
1 second later.
Sitting there on the porch.
It's a hidden folder of all these nude images of Morgan taken without her consent that he obviously snuck around and took of her during this week he was there. Lots of nudes from Morgan. She didn't know he was taking it. So the investors go to Morgan like, you didn't pose for these. And she's like, oh my God, like, no, I didn't know he was taking nude photos of me. So they go back to him and say, why were you taking nude photos of her without permission? And they said, that's a huge invasion of privacy. And
that's
he's like,
illegal.
I don't know. I guess I made a mistake. They said, a mistake? That's like being a stalker. And so they could arrest him for actually that. Like these photos of her nude on his phone without her permission. They arrested him for that because they knew right away too he had done the attack. So they knew they had to get him into custody.
Yeah, they were like, we have to arrest him right now for something because we know he did this.
Until we can figure out
to it. Yeah.
We can get search warrants to go to his apartment. And so he's like, you're kidding, you arrested me? And they're like, yeah, you're a fucking pervert. This is not illegal. This is illegal. We're arresting you for that. And he's like, I'm just here to help her out, bro. And then they're like, turn around, fuck. And they arrested him. So he gets arrested, put in the car. Morgan's like, oh my God, I can't even believe this whole fucking night. You know, like, what happened? And so they book Rod for taking pictures of Morgan. And then he was also like screenshotting her text to boyfriend. So he was like looking at her phone and taking like and screenshotting who her boyfriend was. Probably
or even just like any
she
guy
had her texts or whatever too, pictures of her texts. And he said, well, they both right away looked at each other and are like, he obviously planned this attack so that he could come in and be the hero and get her back.
Right.
But he beats the shit out of her and rapes her. Like, he's such a fucking psycho.
Yep.
So she has security cameras all over her house in the security system. So they learn that, of course, the whole video of the attack, the person coming up to the house, all of that has been erased through the app on Morgan's phone. So that how would that assailant even know that she had security cameras on an app and that could erase it? And they're like, that right there. They look at how he could have gotten in. He got in through a window in the backyard that had the security system somehow rigged so that he could still open the window and it wouldn't set it off. And they said he did that when he was there.
Yes, he had been there for 4 days.
And when she would go to work, he fucked her security system.
So that he could sneak in and attack her.
And then he had gone to the house, I think hoping to get in or to do so, or to turn off the do something. Earlier that evening, he texts her and says, hey, I've got a $56,000 check for you. I'm going to put it on your porch.
That was
She's
so
like,
dumb.
I mean, and she just texted him because she pretended like she wasn't home and said,
she's like, okay,
whatever, put it on my porch. So then when he leaves, there is video of her going out, getting the check and shaking her head like,
she
what
literally
a
is like,
douchebag.
God, this is dumb.
Like,
and
what? Yeah, she throws it on her counter.
Yeah.
But then the intruder took the check. And then like the interviewer asked, did he even have $56,000? Like, no, that bitch is completely broke.
Yeah, then
he didn't have any money.
We learned out later that check would bounce.
Yes, he had nothing. So he was super broke. So the day after his arrest, investigators get these search warrants. They search his car. They search his apartment. They walk immediately into his apartment. And there on the floor of his apartment is a whole bag of zip ties. This guy is dumber than piss.
He could not have been dumber.
And so out in the open are these zip ties. One is weirdly cut, which they thought, oh, the zip ties that Morgan had were weirdly cut. So they take this weirdly cut zip tie from the apartment, take her zip ties. They literally microscopically match up. You can see like where the cut mark is.
Where
they're
the cut
perfectly
is. It's like
matched.
a puzzle. Yeah.
So they're like, oh my God, the zip ties are obviously from Rod and from these ones in his apartment. And I mean, it matches up perfectly. And then the crime scene, they were able to match up these zip ties, and they looked at his computer. He had been searching on Google how to change your voice, how to choke somebody unconscious, how to crack an iPhone password, how to get sympathy from your ex,
how to be a hero.
And then he searches cancer diagnosis letters, makes a fake email account, sends himself, like, people get diagnosed with cancer over email from their doctor when you get called in. You don't just get a letter saying, bitch, you have cancer from your email?
No, I don't think so. But
Do they just say, make sure you read your email and it doesn't go to junk, but here's you.
yeah,
I mean, come
right?
on.
No.
So, and he had showed, that's the letter he showed her, like from this fake email account. But it was the same fake letter he just Google imaged and downloaded. And then a fake doctor bill he creates. So his treatment for pancreatic cancer, all to convince Morgan that he had cancer. And obviously he didn't. He was a type 1 diabetic, though, as he did have that. So his plan was to fake the cancer to try to get her back. And that didn't work. So then he goes to plan B to attack and beat the shit out of her.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 days after the attack, he's in the interview room and Sergeant Hawk and Livers are interviewing them. And they say, so you have some health issues. You're a diabetic. He's like, yeah. And then they said, what other health issues do you have? He goes, nothing. And they go, well, we thought you had cancer. You talked to Morgan and you told Morgan you have cancer. Why did you tell her you had cancer? And then Rod says, I don't know if I should talk to you guys.
Say anything else.
I don't think I should talk to you guys anymore. I got a really bad feeling about this. What angle are you taking, guys? And the cops are looking at him like, you are the dumbest fucker in the world. But he didn't say he wanted a lawyer, so they just keep asking questions. And then he tells Livers, you got a facial expression. I can see your tell, man. I can see your tell when you're trying to trick me. And he's like, what are you talking about? You scratch your beard. You're getting agitated. And the Livers is
he's
I can
who
tell
do you
you
think you are
that I am not at all agitated. You could tell, like, he should have just said, I'm incredibly amused by your idiocy.
And that you think you're profiling me.
Yeah, exactly. And then they said, so, you've been researching all this shit online that we printed out from your computer. Why did you look up how to change your voice? And he goes, you know what? I felt like my voice wasn't manly enough. What kind of a dipshit says that?
God.
Like, I would have just laughed in his face. You fucking dumbass bitch.
Such a dumbass.
What a numbnuts fuck. And so then they said, well, bitch, we found these zip ties in your apartment. And how come they match exactly the zip ties around Morgan's wrists? Like we lined up the cut marks and they match microscopically, like to the little tiniest fragment. And he goes, black zip ties. They didn't even say black zip ties. He says, black zip ties. I don't have zip ties.
And then they're like, yeah.
No, you don't, bitch, because we have them now. But they're identical. And they said, this is starting to get squirrely, man. There's something funny going over here. Something funny going on. And they're like what? You know what he was trying to set up is like you're planting evidence on me. He's trying to think he could get, like, he was that stupid.
Yeah, and they're like,
and
no.
So they're like, he's like, I didn't have some big ass shitty zip ties in my apartment. This is getting squirrely. So hours after the interview, and they still are interviewing him like, you're so fucking dumb and caught. They just said, shut up, bitch. And they arrest him there in the interview with 10 counts of home invasion, kidnapping, rape, aggravated assault. So Morgan has to come in with her friend to have an interview, and she has like just a swollen eye, black eye,
worst black eye ever.
Her friend Nicole is with her.
She literally got hit with a gun
in her eye, in her face, like beaten about her head.
Yeah.
So then they kind of ask her questions like about Rod, and kind of the whole have her say the whole night again.
Yeah.
And she's just like, he's fucking insane. I don't know why he would do this. But they're like, I think that he thought he could win you over because he had a book in his apartment that said like how to win back your wife or something like that.
How to win her back.
Yeah.
Yes, it was like 7 ways to win back
your
wife.
Yeah, something
what
stupid.
The fuck
and she's like,
kind
oh
of
my
a
God.
person writes a book like that?
Well, yeah, and pretend to rape her, pretend to be an intruder and rape and beat her. One of the options?
That is
I just don't know. And so Rod is then still pulling. He's like, you planted all that evidence. You planted those black zip ties. And they're like, you fucking dumbass. So the Sergeant Livers he has like a Lowe's app on his own phone. He goes to the zip ties, like cute, like barcode on his Lowe's app, and it said these were bought at Lowe's.
Yep.
And so they go to Lowe's. They find video of Rod. Now this is during COVID. Rod's the only dick not wearing a mask because he's a dick in the Lowe's.
And he's
buying
wearing the same
fucking outfit.
Blue like North Face sweatshirt that he literally was wearing sitting on the porch.
Oh yeah, the
of
same
the
clothes.
house.
Yeah.
Yes. But like I mean, I don't
know.
know.
You can see him clearly buying it, and then he buys the zip ties with his fucking debit card.
Yes!
Doesn't even use cash.
No, he didn't even try.
This is the dumbest fucking asshole. So if you would have worn a mask, it would have been, you could have kind of gotten away with that. It's not me, but then he uses his debit card. So it's clearly him purchasing these exact same literal zip ties with the barcode matching. He bought them.
Yes.
And he's on camera. And then they go to his apartment and get all the video in his apartment. No one knocked on his window. Rod, they can see a person coming in wearing these dark rape clothes. Yep. And then Rob hurries out right after it in the clothes he changed into.
In the North Face sweatshirt.
That he bought the other stuff in. And when he was coming back in after the rape, like the person was all disheveled and like clearly had just raped somebody, and then changes is Rod. They go out. So they're finding that it timestamps where it matches all the time perfectly, where he could have done it, come back home, went and gone back to her. But when he's leaving the apartment to go back to Morgan's as Rod, he had a bag, which they're assuming is probably a gun, in his hand, and they never found that. Right. He threw it somewhere.
They never found her phone, right?
Yeah, and he took her phone with her phone, and they never found her phone, and they never found that gun. But otherwise, all the evidence against him is extremely overwhelming, with her saying, too, I know it was him. So then the lady with the dog tries to tell her, like, do you really, let's try to do a plea deal, because then we don't have to put you through a trial with this fuck. They go to him with a plea deal. He pleads guilty to all 14 counts. And his mom was in the interview saying, Rod wouldn't, that's not my boy. Rod wouldn't do that stuff. But you feel bad for her because she already lost a son. And then her other son is a fucking psycho.
She does know it, though.
Of course she knows it. She knows Morgan that she knows she was obviously attacked. She knows he did it.
Yeah, and she wasn't making excuses.
No, but it's just sad that she has to go through this. Lose another son for her son being a psycho. Yeah. So Rod is going to serve 25 years for a 70-year sentence. And when he comes out after 25 years, this is what he agreed to in his plea deal. He has to have 45 years of probation. That's a rough probation sentence. But good. This guy's a fucking idiot. But his mom was worried because he does have type 1 diabetes, and being in prison with type 1 cannot be easy to manage. Like, he's going to die of it in prison.
She thinks he's going to die in prison, but he won't see her.
Yeah, he won't let her come because he doesn't want her to have to go to the prison to see him.
But also, you put yourself there, you put yourself
asshole. There, you fucking idiot, because you're so narcissistic and crazy. You thought you would get away with this.
He
and
did.
You're the dumbest fucking bitch on the planet. You're so dumb you don't know you're dumb.
Now he can't stand it that his mom would have to see that he actually
did it.
Fucking tried to dress up and talk like Batman.
I know. And raped his wife. His ex-wife. So the Morgan gets to go to the sentencing. She gives a victim impact statement where she pretty much roasts his ass hardcore. And she just gets 10 or 20 years of all the grievances against his ass out in court. Pretty much tells him to go suck it. And I hope you get raped all the time in prison and fuck yourself.
Her friend was like, she didn't cry. She fucking laid it on the line.
Yeah.
And Morgan was like, when I got done reading that, I felt like 100 pounds, billion
of
pounds
shit.
Of weight were off of me. I just was fucking like, looked at him. I didn't fucking cry. He didn't see me cry.
Yeah.
this.
And she said, "This is the last words I will ever say
Yep.
to you the rest of my life, you fucking asshole."
Yep.
And part of the plea deal is he cannot contact his children or her
Yes.
ever.
I mean, and that's the huge thing.
Yes.
Because so many times in these domestic abuse situations, they have to co-parent with the person who fucking abused them and raped
Yes.
them and did all of these horrible things to them. And that's
Insane.
Yes, it's insane.
It's insane. It should never be allowed.
No.
It's insane.
No.
So she's like, when this ended, like, fuck, she's starting over. She says she wants to try to, be there, maybe try to advocate, maybe just tell women, like you get in this, sometimes you get in and you realize you're in this situation, and you're being gaslit and manipulated, and, like a narcissistic husband is a horrible situation. And sometimes you don't recognize what's happening until you're in too deep. You thought, well, good for you, and you survived it. You lived through yours. We do a show with how many that don't. So, good for you to try to share your experience, and the more people can recognize it, why not? And maybe it'll help her. Like that's how fucking traumatic thing she's been through. Ugh. But man, I hated this guy. I hated him. I would have wanted to jump through the screen and just kick the shit out of his nuts.
I know, I hated him too.
Oh, just to be so smarmy and think
Also,
you're
I hated
so smart.
that his name was Rod.
Yeah,
I was like,
Rod.
Fuck you, Rod.
Fuck you, Rod is right. You stupid moron.
Besides Rod, we have a book club that's going to happen on Tuesday.
I almost forgot about that.
This Tuesday, the 20.
Is it this week?
I think
Tuesday.
so.
Yes, it
Isn't
is.
this
That's
the
right.
last week of
yes,
February?
Yes, it is. So it's Tuesday.
Yeah, it's Tuesday, the 24th at 6:30
or 7:30.
Oops, sorry, 7:30 Central Standard Time
of U.S. if you're
of the
foreign.
United States. So we'll hope that
we're reading
we can see you.
Rebecca, which I finished last
Rebecca.
week. Rebecca, I finished and started it last weekend.
I read it last night for I don't know how long, like an hour. I mean, I've been reading it this whole month, but I'm still not done. So I gotta go home and get to it.
Damn it!
I've read it before, but I don't remember it.
I know.
Don't tell me anything about it, but
I didn't remember little details.
Okay.
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Okay.
And for being from the 30s, I think 34, it's kind of scandalous. There's some scandalous. I like it. And I do not remember if I've seen the Hitchcock movie he made in
I know, I
1940.
kind of want to watch it.
So now I got to
too.
watch that too. Yeah.
Maybe we can do that this weekend.
Yeah.
Have a party at TT's.
Maybe.
Okay, Tiffany, we're putting you on notice. Get ready for us to come over.
Yep. Horror it up.
Yep. Whore it up with TT.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks
Thank you
everybody,
for listening.
and goodbye.